Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Jerry here, back with another banger video, and I hope all you guys are having a wonderful evening. Today's video is one that I've been holding off for quite a while. I do want to kind of branch out to not just so much stock, so much fundamental analysis, technical analysis. I also want to be there to help people. You know, that's something that's really driven me across my lifetime, as many people have helped me in my life, you know, and I know how hard it is growing up, especially as a young adult. You know, you will realize that journey to becoming an independent individual with, you know, your own apartment, your own house, your own, you know, financing your first vehicle, finding that dream job, beginning to take your first investments, beginning to start your first businesses. It's a journey, bro, and there's not a lot of people around you that are going to want to endeavor on that journey with you, and it's sometimes difficult, bro, like being the one that sees the picture a little bit differently than others, right? So I know how that feels. I know how difficult that can be, you know, when you're grown up and you're living with your parents, you know, kind of thinking one way, thinking one way about life differently than how your parents view it. You know, my parents are very conventional. They believe in working hard, going to college, crafting a good career, you know, and just buying a home. Businesses, investments, they're kind of like foreign language to them. It's something that they've never really gotten themselves into. And for me, I've always been surrounded with individuals that are much older than me, much more developed than me, you know, educationally, physically, business-wise. Different facets of life, these people that I surrounded myself with were more advanced, and I learned how to pick my friends for different facets to be able to help me improve and become better quicker. And this is, you know, another pillar of life that I'm going to talk about with you guys here, but just in general, right? Beginning to surround yourself with different minded individuals helps you change the way you see the world and adapt, or more so change the way you see the world, but also like take you away from how your parents are like for shaping it for you, you know, because our parents, you have to understand, are the most influential people in our lives for majority of us, right? They're the people who kind of paint the picture, are supposed to guide us, supposed to teach us how the world works. So oftentimes many people are building their paradigm on life and what's possible on what their parents are showing and teaching them. Now there's the other, you know, side of the quarter here of the people that are figuring it out for themselves, and I was one of those people. You know, being so young, I immediately realized certain opportunities provided more than others, and I began discovering different paths, different journeys, right? Like I tried working a job in high school. You know, everyone tries to get good grades to get their first job, and I didn't have no resources. I didn't have big brothers. I didn't have uncles. I didn't have my father in the picture. I didn't have anyone to necessarily seek for guidance in this journey of life. So I started, you know, from scratch, what everyone else was doing. I just started copying other patterns. I see my buddies get a job, so I went and got a job too. So I started creating income for myself with my first job, and then I started getting myself into a product and service business that was creating, for example, the time to reward ratio for me. And this was a concept of life that I picked up on early that I want to share with you guys. So when you're building up your income streams, of course, like there's going to be some that are going to provide more than others. And if you have created multiple income streams, you'll probably be able to relate to this. So my first job was at Chipotle, working for $13.50 an hour at like 16 and a half, 17. Now, when I went ahead and got that job, I was making 1 hour, which is the time, $13.50 the reward. Time to reward ratio, right? So I would then, when I started my business in product and services direct to consumer, I started noticing that on each sale, I was making roughly 18 or 19 an hour. So I was like, wait a second, would I rather work for $13.50 in 1 hour or $19.50 to $20 an hour? And that little shift in $8 to me was the world back then. And I started pivoting. I was like, wait, if I could create more of these in an hour, right? Because I wasn't working extensively for an hour. Me providing the business, no, okay, me providing the product or service was way easier and way time efficient to create $20. So I can do multiple sales in an hour. I was doing one sale, maybe 18 minutes. The next sale was maybe 13 minutes away. Now I had two sales in under an hour. So yes, it fluctuates to how much I can do in an hour, but then again, now it's not fixed. It's not constant to what I can do in an hour. I'm not limited to what I can do in an hour. So that's when I started chasing this. It wasn't no more just that $8 difference, or $7 if you want to round up to 13 to 20. It wasn't that $7 difference anymore. It was the fact that I could do that multiple times in an hour. And that's when I developed the concept of a time to reward ratio. And I started picking opportunities based on that time to reward ratio. And as I developed from now 17 years old to 23 years old, that's the concept that really, like I said, when you're endeavoring and understanding life differently, man, like these income streams that you're going to be creating, that, obviously you're going to need to be able to develop yourself to accomplish more of a luxury life, more of a providing life, being able to provide for yourself at such a young age, it's extremely challenging. Even if you don't have the guidance, if you don't have the resources, and you're all by yourself like me, bro, it's difficult. It's a real, I wanted to say some different words there, but working on that. And yeah, it's hard, man. And I like to share this advice with you guys because, bro, it's lessons I wish I learned a lot sooner, right? And that's what I'm telling you guys, like shifting away from that paradigm of what your parents are telling you. If you're going to take that path, still continue to use the resources your parents are trying to help you with. But at the end of the day, they're not going to be upset if you take a different path, as long as you make it work and you can prove it. You might fail. I failed. I left my mom's house at 17. I survived for 5 years getting it hard. And after those 5 years, I herniated my L5-S1 disc, and that completely shattered my health. I wasn't able to move. Bending over was a pain. Thankfully now I've healed and I can move freely, like by the blessing of God. But when I had my L5-S1 herniated disc, it was hell on earth, and I honestly had a fold, and I came back to my mom's. So what I want to highlight here with you guys is, like, you're not going to get it right. You might make mistakes. You might be faced with health challenges like myself and have to start back from scratch at those resources. Thankfully, I have those, right? A lot of people don't. And that's why I share this with you guys, because if you have them, like maybe they aren't able to teach you business, they aren't able to teach you investing. Like my parents aren't rich, but they have a home, they have a place that they put their head under, and it's not the biggest, most mansion. They don't drive the nicest cars. I'm Hispanic, bro. We're very humble, nice people. But my mom was able to put a house over me when I failed. And, of course that's all like good to have, but if you don't have it, man, like, now I don't depend on her. Now I understand that responsibility, and I didn't stay there, really, is what I want to highlight, right? I still figured out my way to get my own place, my own business model, and that's what I'm highlighting here. If you have that help, more reasons for you to move out, more reasons for you to start that business, more reasons for you to become successful, learn how to make more, and just move forward in life, right? And that's what a mindset that I want you guys to have, because it's something that you guys have to truly be grateful for, man. Journey in entrepreneurship, I met countless, business owners, individuals, entrepreneurs that have some crazy stories, man. Life is not sweet. It's not rainbows and sunshine for a lot of us. And there's always someone out there with less than you doing more, making more happen for themselves. And then now they're going to be making more than you, doing better than you, simply because they didn't have those resources. So don't get comfortable, get uncomfortable while you're young. Challenge yourself, push yourself. It's very easy to get caught up in like going out with friends, video games, etc. when you're young, and it's it's cool distractions. I'm not going to say like they're not beneficial to some people's mental health, as they develop and cope with life. But I will say that, hey, like in that independent journey, if that's something you're trying to take serious, bro, you have to get uncomfortable and start exposing yourself to multiple income streams, taking advantage of those resources to start developing yourself more mentally, more physically, more business. Because you having those resources puts you ahead of the curve to test and fail, compared to the other individual that doesn't have those resources. They're going to test, and bro, that might be the one shot they got, and they can't fail. And that's why you can, man, it's very important, man, that you guys take advantage of these opportunities while you're young and see life this way, because it's going to start developing you. And that's what it did to me. And those 5 years that I wasn't living with my parents, like I only lived with my parents for about 6 months after those 5 years, but those 5 years helped me develop And it was because I did take that step forward. I did expand my knowledge, expand my paradigm of reality further than just a job, further than just a fixed income stream. And it's difficult, it's not easy, but I encourage you guys to try it. I encourage you guys to surround yourself with people that think like this, because it's gonna help you. You know, it's not easy, bro. It's not easy if the people around you are thinking one way. It's like sheep theory, you know, like if everyone goes one way, it's gonna be difficult for you to go the other. And that's just like, it's just psychology, man. And you have to surround yourself with different psychology to be able to perform. And you know, I always tell you guys this pattern, bro: think differently, do differently, live differently. You know, it's essentially think, act, and do. That's essentially like how it kind of compounds into generally life. Like, it's an idea that might sound a little bit out of twack for people right now, but you'll understand it later, man. Like, how you think affects how you act and what you do. And if you're surrounded with other fixed minds, people that are thinking a certain way, for you to go against that and start thinking differently, you adapt to your environment. You know, this change for me happened when I was starting my own business. I was doing this for myself independently, but I didn't get pushed to further limitations until I joined a sales team for solar. These guys were doing 30,000, 40,000 a month. Bro, remember, I'm some kid just figuring all this out. These guys are knocking on people's doors. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Parker? You know, we're just right here working in the neighborhood, checking up on people's breakers. You know, California is offering a new upgrade for a lot of these homes. I'm not sure if you had anyone stop by trying to mention to you guys the work that's being done here. And this little pitch, right? They'll talk to them, bringing home 30, 40,000 a month because they're doing 5, 6 solar installs. These are systems that are valued at like 40, maybe 60, 80,000. And then they'll make a 10% or 20% commission on it. And bro, they're bringing home 8K a deal, 16K a deal, 23K a deal on some properties. And this really showed me like, holy crap, like my little 20 an hour to now, you know, even whatever I developed to, like that $20 an hour business model that at 19, 18 I thought was great. These guys were doing 1,500 in an hour, just one knock on a door, a conversation, doing 1,500 minimum. Some guys doing 4,000, you know, like I mentioned, 12K in single deals. And that's when I was like, holy crap. So I got pushed to different limits. I seen it differently, and that's what helped me believe. That's what helped me adapt to money, adapt to the concept of progressing faster, doing more in a shorter amount of time. And it all started when I started hanging around those sales guys, those people putting up those numbers. Absolute savages. They knew how to deal with rejection. They knew one opportunity closed is another one open, and they did not stop knocking. And that's wow. It's an interesting way of creating income for a fact, but develops you far beyond anything else I've ever lived through. You know, the communication, the awkwardness of going up to a homeowner, you know, de-escalating them, and then communicating and bringing emotional, bringing logical, bringing, you know, other factors into their thinking to make them actually see why you're here and go forward with a deal. Absolutely insane. It's not so fixed. It's not so technical. It's a lot of emotion, a lot of communication. That relationship, that ability to connect with people, to just meet people like that, it helps, bro, across all facets of life. I've met a wonderful gym trainer, bro. I've met the love of my life, you know, like that. I've met, you know, my greatest friends. I met some of my biggest, you know, man, resources like this. Just going out and, bro, the skill set, it helps a lot. So one thing I really do share with you guys is like, build up those skill sets, build up, you know, yourself into different people, because it's gonna help change you. And that's for majority. If you're picking your environments to be better, you will be better. But be conscious of picking your environments while you're young, and like look at the ones around you. Like, are they doing much? Are they looking to buy a home? Are they starting a business? How much are these people bringing in a month? Are these guys pursuing education? What are they getting themselves into? And if they're not doing really much and they're not, you know, looking to progress, they're comfortable with their parents, I'm telling you right now, if you stay with those people, you're going to do yourself so much harm. Because this journey, you do have to be in it to provide for yourself. Because I promise you, just like my mom's always told me, en esta vida, it's hard to, you know, to expect on your friends. No hay muchos amigos. There's not a lot of friends that are gonna help you build up, become better, create more. And that's where, man, you need a good team of friends. You need friends that can relate to you when they fail in a business, when they, are down and they need to get back up. You need to have friends with you that can help you take out more efficient business loans, more efficient home loans, more efficient car loans. Someone that can help you navigate how to create more for your business, how to understand running ads, how to understand marketing, how to understand sales in your business. You need to help people that help put money in your pocket, help you become better. Those are friends, not just people that you can surround with and they're not going to judge you. You can laugh with them and spend time with them. Friends are real people that, hey, I see you and I think you can do better. I'm going to help you. Or I see that you're not doing good. Hey, man, what can I do to help you? They're not always going to be up your ass to do it, like checking up on you. But if you call them, they're people that can come in and help you get back on your feet, and most of the times, bro, like you're going to meet these people. They're not going to be the people that you know already. The people that you know already, like, they're going to help you. They're going to get you on your training wheels. But the people that are going to take you to business, take you to investing, they're people that you meet in the world, man. And you got to get out there, start networking. That's a huge part of life that, man, it's important, man. You surround yourself with different people to start communicating and just, like, developing yourself, bro. Like, it's very, very, man, essential to one's life to understand how to communicate and grow and create new opportunities. And that's why I do this platform. Like, we're in a generation now where, like I said, like, everyone's picking up a camera and you can help someone. Why won't I do it? I wish I had this advice. This is what shaped my life. This is what changed my life. So I know for a fact it can help change yours. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was essentially an intro to, the time to reward ratio, creating more income streams, a little bit about life that helped shape me into becoming better, and just adapting to more of an independent adult at 23 years old and being able to push it a little bit further. I hope this helps someone out there, and I hope you guys really have a wonderful day. Enjoy this video, and Jerry Trades the SoCal Trading Group over and out.